Hej och välkommen till en ny video. Morgan Grip heter jag. Nu är jag tillbaka i Tom Sideks garage i Lillerdal. Det här blir den 7:e videon om bilbygget The Tison.
Alright, remember this.
Bilbygget där ett Tesla-chassi ska få en Volvo Amazon kombikaross från 1968. Har du missat de tidigare videorna om bilbygget så länka till den spellistan här uppe och i den här videons beskrivning.
Alright, welcome back to ongoing year 8, I believe. Morgan has come up here to discuss the update. Where are we? And I have a little bit of exciting news for you. Why is this thing all in pieces? Well, actually last week I finally finished basically all the welding work on the outside and on the inside, B-pillars, etc, etc. So what we're working on right now is prepping for paint and paint. That to me is super exciting because this is the step before we finally get to just go out and drive and it's sealed and it's not going to rust apart on us. Shall we go take a look around the vehicle a little bit and I can kind of show you what I did, updates, and then the reveal of the paint job. Most of the focus actually, you can't see the work, which is a bit difficult to explain, but I'll just go over an explanation. Right here you can see this black line. That is where the original Tesla windshield came to. Inside, this is the inside of the Tesla, and the venting came up here, and I had to move the channel, take it all the way here and come up here. Next thing was that also the Tesla windshield wiper system was right here. I had to move it all to get up on here. Original idea I had is that the windshield wipers are gonna come in and come out underneath the hood here. That's why I kind of had it cut up and open, but I threw that out because there's just no way it would work. So I took the old Amazon windshield wipers and then I cut up the Tesla linkage and I took the Tesla motor from here and welded a bracket onto there, and basically in behind, tucked up against the dash, is the linkage all together to the motor, so it all works, and it's hidden under the dash. And then this, the linkage actually sits in front of this. It's quite a tight space, but this is the original Tesla venting, and you can see that it'll guide the air out over the whole windshield. And that is gonna sit under there, in here, and then the dash comes up, butts up against it nicely, so everything disappears. Once that was done, I had to fill this in. You can see this silver strip, basically fill that in, weld it in. This is still gonna get sealed. And then I had to fit the hood to the line because it's a new arc, being 27 centimeters wider, the whole car. I had to redo the arc on the hood, and I also had to make it fit with this arc, so it's kind of a 3D arc. Just to give you an example, I had to cut the hood in behind. I have a strengthening arch in behind underneath, and I had to cut that like 20 separate times to get the perfect flow this way and this way. So that is where most of my energy went, actually. Insane amount of work in here. In the first drive video, Morgan and I were sitting, you know, and the wind was blowing. Feel the wind in the air. It's very strange driving this car without a windshield. Woo!
It's really cold.
To prepare the windshield to go in, I had to add this 1 centimeter strip of metal all the way around, because the old way of putting in windshields was rubber. It clicked in and then the glass clicked into that. We're getting rid of that and going to the new technique of basically just gluing it in, and it's a much tighter, better seal. But to do that, I needed this to stick out a lot further. So basically 1 centimeter all the way around. So I've welded on all the way around the windshield on the front and the back, this 1 centimeter strip. And then I also actually sealed it with fiberglass spackle so that, you know, it'll be watertight. I'll grind that down, paint it, so the glass and everything is super sealed. Both front and back, I had to do that. Another focus actually has been, now that the front, like dash and forward, has been done, finishing a lot of the interior welding. So this is why the interior is stripped out, the dash is stripped out. These B-pillars were not joined all the way down. They were just kind of tacked, but they weren't joined completely and properly filled out. The B-pillars are now as one all the way from the bottom up and on both sides. That's been a lot of the focus as well, and this is why I was waiting to strip out the interior, Yes, the chair is here just so I could move it. This I had to do so that I can ground the whole car, and I mean ground paint the whole car, and so that it's ready inside and out. I couldn't seal the car until the welding was done. Being an old Amazon, there's also here you can see it was rusted out. So I had to do a lot of little metal bits to weld in the B-pillars and basically finish off the car. So that was another thing. I went all around, cut out anything rusty, put in new metal plates, welded it in, ground it out. That will lead us to the next interesting point, paint. All right, remember this? Artist rendering from Vennevold, beautiful red, white, classic old Amazon style. So that's the way I envisioned the project 8 years ago when I started it. And anyway, we're gonna go back to the front of the car and I will explain to you why and how that has changed, how the car will look on the roads, at least in the near future. Let's start off by saying, click on the links above here from the first videos that Morgan did, and especially the last video of when we did the first drive, because that is the new paint job of the car. The paint job is basically, it's done and not done. It's gonna look the way it is. And the reason why I've been really fighting with myself on this one, and also, you know, some of my friends, it's very one way or the other. It's either paint the car and have it finished, so do all the body filler, do all that work. But there is a lot of people who came up to me and like, oh, please don't touch it. Like, this is awesome the way it is. And the more I've worked on this car, all the welding, all the bits, the more I fell in love with it just the way it is. That brings up a lot of challenges, different challenges. The other bit is, the biggest reason why is it's kind of looks cool the way it is. You got the vintage, you got the kind of rust rod or whatever look. But the biggest reason for me is it's really fun to show how this car is built, even when it's painted or when it's done. Because here you see that this is 4 hoods. It took 4 hoods to build this one hood. You see that it's 2 different Amazons, where I joined it, where I widened it, how I did the everything. That is why I'm actually gonna go for it. Here you can see how many pieces it took to get it to this shape. So now what the challenge is actually to preserve this so it doesn't rust. What that means is I'm actually painting it underneath, a lot of spackel, a lot of work, body filler, so that it's completely sealed like a regular paint job. But just from the outside, it's gonna be clear coated, but we're doing a bunch of art. Here, for example, is the doors. We're gonna have that on the front doors. Marianne is here painting today. She's a local artist from Lillhärdal. And my friend in Östersund did this design. That's just kind of fun. We can do that and clear coat it in. What that means, we have to just clean the car really well, put a binder on it, a clear binder, and then matte clear coat. And last thing is, on the roof is cut into the shape of a cross. So it lent itself perfectly to do the Swedish flag. And sorry to all the American people, I'm not into the rah rah America style. It's not gonna be yelling at you. It's gonna be just an outline of the yellow and the blue with some brush strokes on it, and then that's all gonna be clear coated in. What it actually does is outlines where I cut the car, and just kind of fun. Also gives a kudos to Volvo and to the Swedish people who have designed this car. So I'm really pumped about it. Some of you will be and some of you won't. It's just the way it is. Lastly, the other reason I decided to do this is because if I'm tired of this in 5 years, 6 years, I can always strip it down and paint it real in that red and white, but I can't go back. I can't do it real now and go back to this look. Would always be in the back of my mind. So that's the big reveal. That's gonna be the look of the car. You will see the final product, of course. We're gonna shoot another video. There's gonna be a few other details that are gonna be really fun, and I think it's gonna look awesome.
Tack för att du tittade. Gillade du videon? Ge den gärna en tumme upp. Och om du ännu inte prenumererar på kanalen ska jag bli superglad om du väljer att göra det. Vi ses i nästa video.